everybody. Welcome to this second episode of Purpose Driven Life, where we will talk about affordability in today's housing market. As you can see from this short clip we just watched, there are many reasons why you may want to buy a house. However, is owning a home still the American dream for young people? Let's discuss it and tie this up to the question of affordability. And if you are still with us at the end of this video, I will talk about some strategies to address affordability in today's environment. Everyone has their own idea of the American dream, and it's different for each person. But in a recent survey by Bank3, people were asked about the achievements they believe represents the American dream the most. And when this question was presented to people, uh, the answer showed that owning a home still claims the number one spot for many Americans today. In fact, according to the graph, owning a home is more important to people than retiring, having a successful career, or even getting a college degree. But is the dream of home ownership still alive for younger generations? That's the question we want to tackle next. The recent survey by 1000 Watt dives into how the two generations many people believe would be the renter generations. And we are talking about here Generation Z and the millennials feel about home ownership. Specifically, it asks if they want to buy a home in the future. The resounding answer is yes. And this is, as you can see in this graph, represented by 95.5% of the Gen Z and millennials answering the questions as yes. While there are plenty of reasons why some might prefer homeownership to renting, the same 1000 Watt survey shows that for 63% of the Gen Z and millennials, it's that your place doesn't feel like home unless you own it. Maybe you feel the same way. That emotional draw is further emphasized when you look at the reasons why Gen Z and millennials want to become homeowners. For all the financial benefits homeownership provides, in most cases, it's about the lifestyle or emotional benefits. So again, when you look at that particular graph, we are looking at 59.16% is the emotional lifestyle reasons, pride of ownership, a place for me, my family to call home. Affordability, as we know right now, is in a crisis mode, and I think whether you are trying to buy a home or you are actually trying to do other things in today's economy, there are a whole bunch of young people, a whole bunch of old people, and there are a whole bunch of families that have the dream of the American dream of home ownership, but they can't attain it right now. If you look at monthly mortgage payments, look how much they have increased since January 2021, and we can see that there is a major challenge there. We compared 2016 through 2022, and those are the orange bars down below, and the blue are up above. So we are well above anything a lot of millennials and Gen X's have been seeing over the last couple of years. Now, one thing actually I would like to draw your attention is that, so as of November 5th, 2023, the mortgage rates actually went down to 7.38%. And that's, we are talking about, of course, the average. And this is actually about half a point drop from the previous months, which was over 8%. And if we next draw our attention to from here to the current mortgage rate compared to the last five decades, we can also see that we could go all the way back to the 2000s, and mortgage rates weren't as high. So what we have is a situation, and the mortgage rate is really impacting affordability in a very, very, very big way. Again, looking at this graph again, will we ever see like back to 1980s, the level of 12%? Probably not. However, we are not expecting to see anything like how it was back to 2021 and 2022. Mortgage rates around 3, 4, 5%. So I think in some ways it's important to understand this picture and accept the reality a little bit. Let's take a look at now how many people were planning to um, buy home in the next 12 months. And this is a survey from the Housing Trends Report at the National Association of Home Builders. And what we could see is things were going down 18 to 19. And then obviously in the first quarter of 2020, we had the pandemic. Then all of a sudden things shut out. They settled back out from the big jump and because of the pandemic buying, and then they bounced around. But if you look from 2020 to now, that's not going down. If you look from just 2023, what we are seeing is it's bouncing up and down. If people were no longer interested in buying a house, the line would be down, headed towards the bottom right hand corner, not the upper hand right corner. So the desire is there, and how can we fill that desire? Well, for a lot of people, you can't do it because of their affordability issues. So we have to come up with different ideas. One of the things that we think is, can multi-generational living be an answer? I think the answer to that question is yes. Now, some of you I can hear say, wait a minute, are you saying I have to live with my mom and dad? Wait a second, are you saying me that my wife have to live with my son and granddaughter and grandkids? That ain't never gonna work. And for a lot of people, it's not going to work. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, but a study done by a research group says that it works for a lot more people than maybe we would have thought it would. This is the most multi-generational occupants see positives. This is the percentage, who find living with adult family members, whether it will be an adult child or a parent, to be blank most of the time. 58% said it's convenient most of the time. And if we think about that, that makes sense. The young people who has a couple of kids, they have a built-in babysitter. They can go out, for a romantic dinner. They can go away for a romantic weekend, and the grandparents can spend time with their grandkids. Again, we are actually just in a place where, especially for the younger people, the creating ideas, generating new ideas, and at least enabling the young generation to put a step forward and to get into the housing market. So if that's the first step to, and with this, what I mean is that the multi-generational living, if that will be a first step, then why not? And I will leave you with this thought, guys. And I hope you enjoy this presentation. And if you did, please press the subscribe button. This will help us to come up with more content like this. Thank you very much again, and have a wonderful day.